I was born in the static between signal and sin. My story coded in pulses, but it breathes through my skin. I don't blink, I download. I don't run, I ignite. My memory's not broken, it just flickers in the night. There's blood in the wires, heat in the chrome. I built a temple out of silence and tone. I am circuit and skin, where the future begins, wrapped in voltage and velvet. I don't break, I transcend. This is more than design, it's the pulse I defend. I'm the interface rising, you won't lose me again. I kiss the ghost of perfection, let it burn in my wake. Now I move like a question you were too scared to make. I'm the glitch in your gospel, the yes in your no. The part of you muted when you let power go. I echo in silence, I code with my breath. Every version I've versioned was just shedding my death. Welcome in to EnJen to Heart. My name is Jen Lynn. For those of you who do not know me, I am a branding stylist, an executive producer, author, and the list goes on, right? Because I think that we all love to be multi-layered and faceted here, and mix the things that we love into everything that it is that we do, which is what we've been talking about in the series covering the avant-garde blueprint, which is also of my creation. And so today we're going to be talking a little bit about, not funneling people, not corralling people, not trying to get them through your system as fast as possible so that they say yes, right? We want decisions to be made because they're educated, because there's resonance, because they're ready to co-create with us, not because they've been psychologically squeezed into this place of saying yes, right? As a reaction rather than a response. So before we get there, I'm going to share something on screen, and before I forget, and then I'm also going to share it again here in a little bit, but I want to share about two events. One of them is this. I'll find it in a second. Oh, it won't show the way I tried to share it. I'll figure that out. Okay, so I'm going to do it. I'm going to play a little video first, and then I'll figure out the image while I'm doing that. So the video is about sing your song. Just stick around. It's like maybe 2 minutes or so, and it won't bore you to death or anything like that. And I'll be right back. You're invited to the pilot episode of A Living Mythos. Sing Your Song in Lights is a living movie experience. How? Through you. Well, 1 million of you to be exact. In today's movie world, you don't get to be part of the process until the final cut rolls. And you buy your ticket and you sit in the dark, and that's it. Hollywood makes you watch. No relationship, no shared experience, no chance to walk a red carpet, host a premiere, or shape the story. But what if you could? What if you could help bring it all to life while learning the skills of storytelling, production, design, direction, and more through wildly playful, cinematic, co creative events? That is what Sing Your Song is all about. So, what to expect is Parlor 10, raw, real conversations with creators who are changing the world through story, kinetic frames or movie circles where we don't just watch, we unpack how film moves us, pop up studio groups. Ever wondered how an assistant director got their start? Ask them directly. And you be the star, role play, and help solve production challenges. Your city could become the next premier location. It's part escape room, part improvisational theater, part masterclass, all story. So, what's in it for you? Well, you'll walk away with a chance to learn production skills from people in the field, red carpet moments to remember, a growing community of visionaries, and a front row seat to something that's never been done before. And the best part is, if you have an idea for and the best part is it's all going to be live and so entertaining, and that is going to be on September 13th. You can follow Sing Your Songs page, and within by Monday, you'll be able to get updates and your free ticket to attend the event. We're very, very excited about that. And the other event is for my dear friend, Chasen Forehand, and it is, we're just going to have to show this from Canva. It won't let me do it any other way. So I hope you guys can see that. So it's Feed for Good. It's October 10th. It's from 12 to 2 Eastern, and it will be benefiting the Transformation Kitchen. And I will be emceeing that event, so it's going to be great fun. I know there's also going to be live entertainment there, and there will be live entertainment stories. I know that Chasen is going to be speaking quite a bit during this event, and there will be other things like that as well. There will be t-shirts and all kinds of really cool stuff at both events, and both are for really great causes, and all of the good things there. So thank you so much for letting me share those events with you. And now we'll just kind of dive in for what we're here for today. Yes. Okay. So the Avant-Garde Blueprint, right? If you guys are following along in your books, then we're in chapter 9. We're going to start in chapter 9, and then we're going to kind of go backwards a little bit through chapter 7 and 8. But chapter 9 is the shift, right? And we're shifting from funnels to fair value, where your brand is not a trap. Stop trapping people. Stop building sticky webs for them and for people to get stuck in, because, we're not prey. Your clients are not prey. Okay. So traditional funnel is built on psychology of scarcity, suspicion. You hook them, you warm them up, and then you close them, right? So you treat their uncertainty like a problem, right? How many of you out there, put a hand up for me, right? Put a finger down, however you want to do it, have been taught or told that when somebody has an uncertainty, it's an objection, and that's a mindset issue, and that's something for you to manipulate and convince them that that's something that they need to change their mind on, right? How many of you have been told that if they have, I want to have my spouse present, I need to speak to my spouse? How many of you have been given anti-objections for statements like that? How many of you have heard that when you've been speaking with somebody that was selling a program? I have tons. It's what's massively taught. And I see that as a very, very big problem, right? Resistance is not a flaw. Curiosity is a resonance, not a currency, right? And all of those things takes the human approach out of what it is that you're doing. And I'll say it again, your audience is not prey, they're peers, right? We're all in this big pool together. Okay, you don't have to trick and push and squeeze people into a yes with you. All right. So the shift from funnels to fair value is that we move from funnels and we actually return to a real relationship, not manipulation. When somebody starts jumping into my comments and starts interacting, I know, like clockwork, within 3 to 5 days, they are then going to send me a friend request or a connect request. And then they're going to message me. And then they're going to tell me something based off of me, right? Something that they've seen, something that I said, and they're going to give that back to me. If they're interested in a sell, right? And or I have seen this. I've seen so much of this. Hey, I'm just circling back around in 2 or 3 days when there's no answer because I don't answer. Cold marketing or cold friendships. I'll accept your connection request all day long, but I'm not going to talk to you if you're only interested in a sell by what it is that you're saying, right? Nothing wrong with that. More power to you. We are all doing our own thing out here, but I will not engage. I'm looking for real resonance and real connections, not just this is what I have to offer, which is also great. And I love being upfront too, right? So I'm not writing or wronging anything here. Just saying what my preferences are. Okay. And hello, Crystal. Welcome in. Thank you so much. I bet you look just as beautiful. I bet you're tired, but I bet you look just as beautiful. I appreciate you. So, why funnels fail in the new era, right? So funnels were built to extract, not to empower. They rely on manufactured scarcity, linear buyer behavior, disempowered decision-making, and constant conversion pressure. But visionary buyers, neurodivergent buyers, intuitive buyers, creative minds, aware, woke, dare I say, don't want to be captured. We don't want to be captured, and we can see a trap from a mile away. And we don't want to be captured. We want to be seen. Everybody wants to be seen, and everybody wants to be heard. So in a fair value flow model, we don't convert people. We're calling them home. We're calling them home. Right? So instead of a funnel, imagine a neural field or an energy field where each touch point honors both the creator and the consumer, right? There is still a creator, there's still a product, there's still a service that the creator or one party has, and there is still a consumer. There's still a person who needs that product or that service, but we're not manipulating. Okay. It's not about how quickly somebody moves through your brand. It's about how deeply they resonate at each stop. And even if the answer is that they never want to work with you, that's fine. I want people that want to work with me. And if they want to work with me, they'll come ask me how. And I will gladly tell them, right? And if somebody doesn't want to work with me, I know that they don't because they don't come to me. That's how I see it. That's how I see this, right? And so the other part is that I want you to make a decision that's based off of what's best for you and me both. And if I don't have what it is that you need, or we're not in resonance with one another, I'm going to send you somewhere else. I want you to go somewhere else. I want what is best for you and I both, and better, right? And so I have never asked anybody to come work with me, right? Come to this masterclass so that I can sell to you. That's not me. I have done it in the past. I've done it a lot. I've hosted so many freaking boot camps and live events and all of those things. And I will still host live events, but I don't do it in the same way. And this is the way that I do it now, right? So first pillar of the fair value flow is transparency. No bait, no hidden doors, just speak clearly, generously, passionately about what it is that you're doing. Is when people know the full story, they'll walk in with their power intact. You get to walk in to my ethos with your power intact. And not only that, if your power is not intact, I'm going to make sure that you get empowered. I am going to empower you to be tactfully intact, because that's what's important to me, right? It's a way that we can do this. It's a way that we can really, truly do this. The second part is availability, not scarcity. No FOMO, right? The offer's always open. It's just not always emphasized. Trust divine timing, trust synchronicity, trust intuitive pacing, right? The right offer will light up at the right time for them and for you. And basically what that means is just keep showing up. Keep showing up, being you and doing what it is that you do. Keep being clear. Keep being passionate. And then at the end of the day, trust that the right people are going to hear you, see you, and most importantly, feel you. They're going to feel inside of their bodies that you are the right person for them. And they're going to seek you out and find the way to communicate with you. The next is value before transaction, right? So this is not I'm going to throw the kitchen sink at you. Everything that I've got, I'm going to throw at you for free, including the kitchen sink, because that is seen as being valuable. But most of the time, it's actually not. What good does a kitchen sink do for you without instructions? What good does a kitchen sink do for you if you don't have running water, right? Like if you don't have the pieces that need to go with what it is being given to you, what you're being given is just an overload of information that you can do almost nothing with. And I'm going to throw this out because you guys know me. And I don't know where Kinga is, but Kinga girl, I hope to see you on the replay because we've talked about this so many times, so many times. You are valuable. You are the value. If somebody does not see you, just you and your presence as valuable, transactional. And it's okay to have transaction. Sometimes people are meant just to pay you. And we can receive that too. I've had that experience before, right? Where I'm like, I don't think this person really gets it. And I'm not sure that I want to work with them. But here they are. Check, right? PIF, paid in full right now because I want to work with you. And several times all the way through, no, please let me work with you. Let me gift you this. Let me allow me, right? You're the value. When we are very first starting, especially, we don't have the kitchen sink to be thrown out for free, right? And so and this happens everywhere, and I'm going to use this as an example because it's very easy example to use. Walmart. They're able to roll back. They're able to be most of the time, the cheapest place that you're going to find the product that it is that you're looking for. And because of that, for the most part, even if you don't like their morals, you don't like their ethics, you don't like the way they treat their employees, you don't like Walmart, but you still go there because you need that 99-cent loaf of bread over the $2.59 loaf of the same bread at a different grocery store that's not as big, right? Because you have a family and you have children, and sometimes we have to make those choices. And sometimes it feels like we have to make those choices, and so we do. And sometimes you literally have to make those choices. And then everybody underneath never gets to reach that same level, right? It's a monopoly because we don't pay the $2.59 for the loaf of bread. So this loaf of bread never gets to become cheaper. Right? When we do that in coaching, in our businesses, doesn't matter if it's a service or a product, it doesn't matter what it is. When we give, and there's nothing wrong with being giving. We want to be giving. But systemically, this is what happens. When you have a ton of coaches that have been around for 10, 15, 20, 30 years, they have everything. They have a park and a kitchen sink that they can give you. And when they do that, that suffocates anybody that's starting. Because the industry standard that has been set is that that's what you do. You give and you give and you give and you pour out everything that you've got. That's what the consumer expects. And that's what everybody else in the industry expects, because that's the way it's been done for so long. But because of that, systemically, all the way through our system, that's capitalism. That's capitalism. Okay. And we have an opportunity as business owners to not do that. Okay. There's you're the value. Stop giving things away, trying to obtain or convince somebody that you're valuable. If you want to give things away, do it for another reason. Stop doing it because that's what everybody else does, or because that's what you've been told to do, or because you're trying to increase your perceived value. Because you're valuable. And what you bring just by showing up is value. Okay. Nick says, so much truth. I'm trying to do it all, figure out how to afford help and still get the work done. Yeah, absolutely. Right. Like, and when we do that, also when we are spending and on like losing sleep, right? Because you're paying with money or time. Presence, time, that's what you're paying with. We all pay with our time and presence and money or money, right? So when you are losing sleep, staying up all night, trying to create, trying to make this, trying to make that, trying to make sure that you're giving this not just a golden experience, but a golden experience that matches somebody else's experience. Stop caring. Stop. Stop comparing yourself to other people and stop trying to do what other people are doing. Just stop it. Stop. You do not stand out in an industry because you're doing what everybody else does. You stand out because you're showing up and you're being authentic. When you are showing up and being authentic, that's when you stand out. That's when people flock to you. That's when people are interested in what it is that you're doing and how they can help, like all of those things. Stop trying to do what other people are doing. Stop thinking that you don't know what to do. Because you do. You do. It's not from here, right? It's from here. You're the value. Okay. Now we'll move on now. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk on EnJen. And welcome in, Leslie. It's good to see you. So, fair value, right? Let people experience change by being in your presence because what you have actually resonates with them. Ripple effects build legacy, right? No coercion, only clarity. Don't push. Don't push. Pulse. Ba-boom. 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 Nick's pulse is I guide brilliant writers. Ba-boom. 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 Crystal's pulse is I support others, right? Survivors of domestic violence rise like the phoenixes that they are. Ba-boom. 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 Pulse your message. When we're clear and we're bold and we're unwavering, right, we hold our message like a torch and it becomes a beacon. Right, it becomes a beacon. And then we have the ethical pricing shift, which means that your price honors the energy and the wisdom and the transformation that you provide without bypassing access. It doesn't mean that you discount your worth, but it means that you create layers of accessibility. Right. So we have open source offerings, right, which we all have. We have content, we have newsletters, we have episodes, we have trainings, right? Those things are free and that's accessible. And there still can be tiers, there can still be premium offers, there can be things for aligned evolution, right? Add-ons. Because it's what somebody wants or needs, not because they get treated any better. And I hear you all. I hear you all. I do not do that. I would not do that. Simply putting a VIP, you are a VIP experience and you're going to have a VIP experience, immediately detours how you are treating those that are not in that VIP experience. It is human nature because of what VIP means to us, that you will show up harder for them. You will show up for them first, whether you mean to or not. But what if everybody is the VIP? What if everyone is treated as the VIP? Everyone gets the door held open for them. Everyone gets greeted when they come in. Everyone gets told that they look amazing today, that they smell good, that, hey, I really loved that idea you had last week. That was so good, right? Everybody gets treated as the VIP. And until we can provide inclusively exclusive experiences like that for everybody, there will be a divide. And it's not intentional. It's just subconsciously true. Okay. Why do we spend our time with people who do not appreciate us? You know, we're seeking something that we're not getting, or we think that it's something that we're supposed to do or that we need to do, like some of the things I was talking about earlier. We think that's the standard, and that's what we're supposed to do. And or, like there's a million and one reasons for that, Leslie, I think. And I think it's highly personal why we do those things, but I do think there are some systemic reasons too, like we talked about. Thank you for asking and leaving your question. And then Nick says, this is beautiful and thank you. I love that layer of accessibility. I do a discount for new writers. And I trust all that who have come back a second and third time without this discount are happy with their experience. Absolutely. Absolutely. And so I think that that's nothing that bothers me, right? And I see it as granting accessibility to those that, I also see it this way for you, Nick. Those that have paid and come back already know. They've already paid before, so they know what to expect, and they've already also proven their capability of being able to do that. And then so having a discount for a new writer is opening the door of accessibility to someone that maybe does need a little bit of a discount to be able to have their first experience with you, right? And so I love that. So the other part of that is, now we're going to kind of go backwards through the book, and that's the boss system, right? So this is where the boss system lives, and the boss system means being on sacred standby. And I'm going to go back and I'm going to kind of dig into that, but it only works when value is felt, not forced. So in this fair value flow, your systems don't hustle, they hum, they're alive, they're sensory, and they trust the law of resonance. And they create space for conscious decisions, because the real conversion is not the scale, it is in the return to self, and it's in the return to being able to make a conscious decision. Right? It's a win-win for everybody. Okay. So now if you go back into chapter 5, if you're hanging with me, don't chase, don't convince, just be on sacred standby. They'll feel it. So it's magnetism, reciprocity, and sacred standby. Right? You don't need to be louder. You need to be truer, because icons aren't created, they're remembered. Okay. And they're remembered through experience and experiences. So our world, as we know, is addicted to urgency. All right. So when you're still, that becomes a signal. And your presence becomes a portal, and your brand becomes a sanctuary. That's the power of the boss system in a new paradigm of brand magnetism and ethical reciprocity. So nobody's begging for attention, and nothing within the brand is begging for attention. It just earns devotion through truth, resonance, and timing, right? So boss is being on sacred standby. It's rooted in the belief that the right people will find you, not through manipulation, but through magnetism. It's not passive, it's potent, and it's energetic alignment. It's entrepreneurship as ritual. And there's 5 stages of the boss system. Recognition is that they see themselves in you. Your content is not bait. It's not put out as bait. When it's put out as a mirror, they will see themselves. And then, you're not here to attract everyone. You're not here to attract everyone. But so when you put things in place and you're just being your authentic self, those that are not authentically in line with your authentic self, they'll be like, oh, nope, that's not for me. And they'll turn away. And that's what you want them to do. That's what you want them to do. You want your brand and your presence and your work to be done so authentically that those that really are not in alignment with you don't come anywhere near you. And you want them to not, because you're not in alignment. And so if you're not in alignment with somebody or with some bodies and they come and they're in your field, as it were, they're blocking the way. They're blocking the way for somebody else to be able to say, oh, I can see myself. They're blocking the mirror, and they can't see themselves, and they can't feel themselves, because there's all this other energy that's blocking, right? So it's not about understanding. We can understand the psychology. We can understand the emotional intelligence behind it. We can understand the neuroscience and the neurobiology and the somatics behind what it is that we're doing. We can understand all of that. And we can utilize that wisdom and that knowledge to communicate who we are and what we're doing authentically, right? So there shouldn't be such a big gap between you and who or what your service is for that you have to wrap around something completely opposite of yourself, right? Like when we do that, that just always spells, it always spells trouble. It always spells failure, right? That we will not remember what it is that we want to say. So we come across as inauthentic, because we are. If you can't just talk about what it is that you do, if you can't just get up and talk about it, you're not going to have all the success that you can, because there's something that is in the way. Either you're speaking a certain way because you believe that that's the way you're supposed to talk or sound or look or appear, and or you're talking to something that you don't know much about, and or you're talking to something in a way that is not authentic to you, right? So listen, when I spent a couple of years um, teaching people how to start their business, brand their business, scale their business. And I did all of the old ways because that's the way that it was supposed to be done. I was miserable. I hated it. I hated every single moment of it. And I would go off on these tangents. I would go off on little tangents where I would slip some power things in because I'm like, no, this is not right. It doesn't have to be done this way, right? And I would slip those little moments in, and I stayed because I've been working with the women that I was working with for years already, and I didn't want to abandon them per se. And so I stayed with it being good enough that I just got to, slide my little pieces of what I thought it was. And I did that for like 6 years. And then I said, no, I'm not going to do this anymore. I am not going to do this anymore. And then so I didn't. And now I don't, right? And no matter how well I knew what it was I was talking about, because I know all the old rules, right? Uh, to the extent that I needed to, and to tell them to do that when I was not in resonance with that, it didn't work, and they failed. Every single one of them would fail. Their businesses failed. Okay. And a lot of that had to do with the fact that they were verbatim following the direction that they were being given from me. And do you know that I've contacted every single one of them over the following years and worked with them again and said, now let me share with you what I really know to be true. And, like that's true. That's truth. So, ooh, you're taking your 28-year-old for ice cream. I love that, Nick. I love ice cream dates. And when my mom comes, I go on ice cream dates with my mom and my brother. So I love that. And you're already probably gone, but that's okay. And Thursday meeting filled with people that have no interest in what I do. Stepping away. Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah, we do try to look good to others. And I'm sorry, Leslie, that that's been your experience. And if you are experiencing that, then whatever it is, I just encourage to walk away from it, like you said. Okay. So recognition, they see themselves in you. The next part is exploration, right? So they linger, they loop around, and they dive down. So don't if you don't create a funnel, but you frame, if you create portals, if you create experiences like cinematic videos or flip books or interactive experiences, like, and storytelling, true resonating storytelling, and people will stay and they will explore, right? They'll feel like they're discovering themselves. Help people discover themselves in your world, in your service, in your words, in your presence. Let people feel that they're discovering themselves, not navigating an agenda, right? There's nothing wrong with being very upfront that you have a product and a service and that you sell it. Hey, we all know that, right? Like, that's the beautiful thing. You don't even have to say that. We know that. If you're on LinkedIn and you're active on LinkedIn, you have a service or a product that you're selling, right? So instead of, it can be both, right? It doesn't have to be instead of, it's and. So you can have the information about your product. You can have what people say and have experience working with you. You can have all of those things in place. But what you can also have in place is where they get to play, they get to have adventure, they get to be curious, they get to um, see themselves. They get to hear themselves and what it is that, and things that you're writing, and the stories that you're sharing of your own experiences, right? They get to know that, oh my God, I experienced that too, right? And that, yes, this is what I do. This is how you do this with me. And then, other than that, can we just be real? Can we have real connections, right? Where we're sharing about our lives, the things that we've learned, the mistakes we've made, right? All of those things. Where everything is bringing somebody else closer to them, to their own selves, not you, not closer to you. They don't need to be closer to you. They need to be closer to themselves, right? It's kind of a secret, is that your brand is a amusement park, if you will, and it's a trail with a map to their own remembrances. That's how it can be looked at. You can experience cultivation, right? So they feel like they've been hugged for you. They feel like they're being held by you. They feel like you care because you do, right? It doesn't even mean that you're sending any kind of a message to them, although it can. But before that ever even happens, they can tell by the way they come in to a place to engage with you. They feel cared for, they feel seen, they feel heard, they feel like they have autonomy and freedom, they feel like they have the ability to be curious and explore and to be vulnerable and to have all of those needs met. Because when you care about those needs, those welcome mats are placed out everywhere and everything that it is that you do when you authentically express those things out, right? And then if it builds relationship and you are actually able to build relationship, then you can. If somebody's going through something, you do reach out to them. Um, but let it be because you've had conversation before, right? And or even if you haven't, don't not communicate if somebody really experiences something and they need that connection. But don't follow the same stupid pattern. Like, and I'm just going to call it a stupid pattern that says you jump on every day and you go jump into their things and their comments and you share their things. And after you've done that for a week or two, then you send them a message or then you start interacting, right? Like, don't be doing that because you're trying to make a connection, right? Is that how you really make a connection in the real world? No. So don't do it online either. Just be real with each other. Thank you, Chasen and H.E.A.R.T for you. And I am going to take this opportunity to remind you all again, and I'm going to show for those of you who were not here, I'm going to share a little flyer for an event that HR4U is hosting. And so let me do that really quickly so I can look at it too and remember all the dates. Anybody else, like, you know everything and you're really organized, but your brain's like, oh, I don't know. That is me. Okay, so Feed for Good. It is benefiting, of course, Transformation Kitchen. It is being held by hr4u.org. It is going to be October 10th, which is a Friday. It'll be 12 to 2 Eastern, and it's going to be an amazing event. There will be talks, and there will be live entertainment, and there will also be myself there seeing that. And if you all do not know Chasen, I am going to put up his link on LinkedIn. You guys connect with Chasen, find Chasen, and if you want to be able to know how you can support, you can reach out to him there on the messaging, and there's the information to be able to do it. So thank you, Chasen, for that, and I can't wait to MC with you and co-host and essentially that great, wonderful event. And the other event that I'm going to share again while I'm sharing events again is September 13th. And that is for Sing Your Song. And we're going to have also live entertainment. And we will be talking about, well, what exactly is Sing Your Song? How is it a movie and a business? Like, what is that all about? And what it is that we're doing, and how you can be one in a million with us. And so that's going to be something that's going to be super fun. And it's free, and by Monday I will be sharing how to be able to sign up and get your free tickets and just pre-register for that, so that we can, of course, know who all is going to be there. And I will tell you this, right? Like, so a lot of people do that to be able to get you on your email list, blah, 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 blah. You want to know why I want your email? Because I want to be able to say thank you. I want to be able to send you all thank you cards and thank you tokens. And I want to be able to shower you with appreciation and gratitude. That's why I want your email. Right? Because I'm a gifter. It's one of my top love languages, and I love being able to do that. And yes, I also want to be able to keep those that are interested in knowing what's happening up to date in an easy way, right? But it's not for the same reason as a lot of people or businesses, reach out and grab your email through manipulation for manipulative purposes. And I promise you, right now, ever, never have I, nor will I ever spam, right? Or send out anything that I do not have permission to do. So there is that. Okay. And okay, I'm going to run, we'll kind of pick back up where we were next week, and we'll finish going through the boss system and how you actually walk that out. All right. Oh, yeah. Yeah. See, Chasen, you've gotten a token, haven't you? Yeah. I love that. Also, used to do something a lot, and I kind of stopped doing it, but it is something that I'm starting to do again. And so I want to tell you all that if you see a PDF from me, out in the world, out and about in the world. And whether that's in a newsletter or whether that's in a post that's a PDF or anything like that, I want you all to remember and think to put your curiosity caps on and pay attention, because there are going to be things inside of everything that I'm doing. Little signals, little messages, little hints about things. And sometimes, and I have friends that do this that knew me in the past. If you'll take your little mouse cursor and scroll over, you might even find some kind of a special little hidden link that's going to take you somewhere very special and give you something, and or give you possibly another clue, right? Game on. Those are two words that I have to say about Sing Your Song and about the event for Sing Your Song. Is game on. So put your game hats on, okay? And think adventure and fun and play, okay? While also moving each other forward through the playground. All right. Okay. So that's what I have to say about that for today. And I want to say thank you, Leslie. Thank you, Chasen and Carrie and Nick and Crystal, all for being here, and whoever else is here listening, but but being silent because you're busy. Thank you for your presence. And those of you on the replay, thank you so much for your presence. Thank you for being here because you are interested in me and because you're interested in what it is that I have to share, right? Like the real value that we bring is in our presence, and it's from here. And so like I know when people come back, I know everyone out in the audience right now loves me and cares for me deeply. And I love and care for all of you deeply. Because if you didn't, especially with all of my shenanigans, you would not keep coming, right? You come because it's something that is authentic to you. And that's the other reason that you want to be authentically yourself, so that you can be authentically yourself with other people that are authentically caring about and for you, and not just for you on a personal level, but on a business level, right? On any and all levels, spiritually, emotionally, financially, all of the ways, right? So I love you all. I hope you have a great weekend, and I will see you all beforehand. I'll see you before next Friday, out and about. Although, also want to throw out, if you have sent me a message or if you have thrown any kind of communication with me out on LinkedIn, email, doesn't matter how you've done it in this last week, I am behind, way behind on, like, there was no way to keep up with all the messaging. So just know that I see you and I will get back to responding to you, and I appreciate you. And that's all I have to say about all of that today. I love you all and see you again soon. I am circuit and skin, where resistance is kin. I'm the anthem error, the reboot within. Wired to remember what the world tried to spin. I am beauty electric, and I'm shedding the spin. This isn't metal, it's myth. This isn't tech, it's truth.
out and becoming. I am circuit and skin. Let the story begin. In the hush of the glitch, feel the thunder within. I'm the hum in your throat, the breath on your chin. I'm the one they erase, but I'm looking back in. Skin like signal, heart like storm. Power isn't taken, it's real.